Coming out should be a moment of truth, a moment of relief, but for some, it turns into a nightmare. Rejection, bullying, and even violence are very real dangers that LGBTQ+ individuals continue to face. In today's video, on No Straight Talks, we're diving into some tragic stories of those who suffered after coming out that remind us why acceptance and protection are still urgent needs. Links for full stories in the description below. In 1998, Matthew Shephard, a 21-year-old college student, was targeted simply for coming out as gay. He was brutally beaten, tied to a fence, and left for dead in freezing temperatures outside Laramie, Wyoming. Matthew never woke up. 6 days later, he died from his injuries. His story shook the world, leading to federal hate crime legislation in the U.S. under the Matthew Shephard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act. But Matthew's story didn't just change laws, it changed hearts. In 2025, the Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington, the same place where she laid Matthew's ashes to rest, stood before the nation and delivered a powerful message. She called upon President Trump
to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives.
Matthew's memory continues to remind us that the fight for LGBTQ+ safety is far from over. Tyler Clementi was just 18 when he started college at Rutgers. Clementi told his family he was gay shortly before leaving for college and received a mixed reaction from his parents. "It's a good thing Dad is okay with it, or I would be in serious trouble. Mom has basically completely rejected me," Clementi wrote in another instant messaging chat with a friend. His mother later noted that she had not been ready as a parent to publicly acknowledge having a gay son, partly because her evangelical church had taught that homosexuality was a sin. But within weeks, his roommate secretly recorded and live-streamed an intimate moment between him and another man. 3 days later, Tyler took his own life by jumping off the George Washington Bridge. His death sparked a national conversation about cyberbullying and LGBTQ+ mental health. In 2011, Tyler Clementi's parents, Jane and Joseph Clementi, established the Tyler Clementi Foundation, which focuses on promoting acceptance of LGBTQ teens and others marginalized by society, providing education against all forms of bullying. Leelah Alcorn, who was born Joshua Alcorn, was a 17-year-old transgender girl from Ohio who was forced into conversion therapy by her conservative parents. Instead of love, she was met with rejection, isolation, and religious pressure to change. In 2014, Leelah took her own life by stepping in front of a truck. Her final words, posted online, called for change and ignited a movement to ban conversion therapy in multiple U.S. states. "The life I would have lived isn't worth living in because I'm transgender," read a portion of the post. "I could go into detail explaining why I feel that way, but this note is probably going to be lengthy enough as it is. To put it simply, I feel like a girl trapped in a boy's body, and I've felt that way ever since I was 4. After 10 years of confusion, I finally understood who I was. I immediately told my mom, and she reacted extremely negatively, telling me that it was a phase, that I would never truly be a girl, that God doesn't make mistakes, that I am wrong," the note states. "The only way I will rest in peace is if one day transgender people aren't treated the way I was," reads the post. "They're treated like humans, with valid feelings and human rights. Gender needs to be taught about in schools, the earlier the better. My death needs to mean something." Jadin Bell, a 15-year-old from Oregon, was relentlessly bullied for being openly gay. At school and online, the harassment never stopped. He tried to find support, but the weight of rejection was too much to bear. On January 19, 2013, Bell went to a local elementary school and hanged himself from the play structure. He was rushed to the emergency department, where he was kept on life support and died after life support was taken off on February 3, 2013. His father, Joe Bell, dedicated his life to speaking out against bullying. But tragically, while on a nationwide awareness walk, he was killed by a truck driver. His story was later turned into a Hollywood film called Joe Bell starring Mark Wahlberg. Nigel Shelby was just 15 years old when he took his own life in 2019. A high school freshman from Alabama, he faced constant bullying for being gay. Instead of protecting him, his school reportedly dismissed his complaints, telling him to toughen up. His death was yet another painful reminder that LGBTQ+ youth need safe spaces in schools. In her first interview, Kamika Shelby, Nigel's mother, said she now wants to focus on keeping the memory of her only child alive. Nigel was loved at home, but that wasn't enough, she said. I want LGBTQ, Black, and all kids to feel safe and included at school. Matthew, Tyler, Leelah, Jadin, Nigel. 5 names, 5 tragedies, but they are not alone. Every day, LGBTQ+ individuals face bullying, rejection, and violence simply for being who they are. If you're feeling lost, please reach out. Organizations like the Trevor Project, the Matthew Shephard Foundation, and It Gets Better are here for you. You are not alone. Don't forget to subscribe and join for more LGBTQ+ discussions. And always remember, your story matters.